Hello crafty friends, this is the Papered Chef here. Today I would like to show you 54 projects that I've created using the This Little Piggy stamp set, Candy Cane Seasoned Sentiments, and Twinkle Twinkle Designer Series paper by Stampin Up. I'll be using these 54 projects next weekend when I attend the OnStage event. Okay, first I'd like to just go over something. This is first time I've actually kept track of what I've done and how many projects I can make out of one pack of Designer Series paper. Okay, so I used one pack of Twinkle Twinkle paper. I made 3 mini pizza boxes, 6 cards, 7 tag treats, 16 nail file boxes, 16 matchbooks which hold Ghirardelli chocolates, and you can also put tea in them, 5 nugget treats, and 1 bookmark. Okay, the number down here is how many pigs I colored in. There's 54 projects. Okay, and then this is how many pigs, little piggies I colored in, 62 pigs, because some of the projects took more than 1 pig. So now I know how to prepare for other projects in the future because I'm keeping track of how many things I can make with one pack of Designer Series paper. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to start with the pizza boxes. Put these over here. Okay, so I created 3 mini pizza boxes. And the Twinkle Twinkle paper, one of the colors in the Twinkle Twinkle paper was petal pink. Okay, here's the stamp pad. So I got the idea to color the stamps, to color the little pigs petal pink, because this does look like a really good pig color. And then it just went on from there. All these ideas just kept flowing of how I can use the Twinkle Twinkle paper with the petal pink and the pigs, and that's how all these projects came about. Okay, so you just use the Twinkle Twinkle around the sides of the mini pizza boxes, and I've shown in different videos the different dimensions I used, and then I put some nuggets in there and little mini Mentos. I need to put some more nuggets inside this one. And I put a pig inside of each of the boxes. Okay, and the pigs on top of the boxes, because I'm going for the 3D, they all have a wobble to them. I put them on wobble springs. And if you notice, I used Winkestella on all the wings, on all the pigs, all the flying pigs. Okay, here's 2 more. I love these stripes. Now the Twinkle Twinkle paper makes great baby shower gifts or baby shower party favors. That's the colors that I think Stampin' Up was going for. But I didn't do any baby projects with this Designer Series paper. I just made all the little pig projects. And I used the Be Jolly because I thought that would look cute with the piggy. And another piggy inside. And every piggy is colored slightly differently. I did a video last week about how I sponge color my pigs, how I used the Brother ScanNCut to make a stamping mask to help me color the pigs. So be sure to check out that video, which I'll link in the description. And here's the 3rd pizza box. This one's heavy, so this is the one I put all the nuggets inside. This is what I was going for all of them. I wanted to put 6 nuggets inside each of the boxes. And I just ran out of paper. That was my only issue when making these projects. Okay, next I'd like to show you the 6 cards. Each card is a little bit different, and sometimes I put more than 1 pig on the cards. So these are just flying pigs, and I just used the paper or the cardstock I'm using for the first 2 cards is called Soft Sea Foam. That's a color that coordinates with this sweet Soft Sea Foam. Okay, and then we already talked about the petal pink and how that coordinates. Okay, I just liked how jolly the pigs are, so that's why I used Be Jolly. And what I wanted to mention is also that I'm going to the OnStage in Paris, so I didn't want to use a lot of sentiments from this set, in long sentiments in English, like she believed she could, so she did. I just felt like something with that phrase could be lost in translation, but you can't lose in translation. Be jolly or for you, it just doesn't get lost in translation. Okay, the next 2 I used the petal pink cardstock. Okay, petal pink cardstock for these 2. And all these cards are blank inside. And I just love this Starry Night paper because it looks like the pig is flying through the night sky. I was even thinking of putting some grass under this pig with my grass punch, but I'm trying to stick with all, Stampin' Up products here for the cards. Okay, and again, just little pieces of designer series paper. And just cutting out the beach alley. And then the last card is just using the gray granite. It's another color that coordinates with the suite. And 2 more piggies and the beach alley. Okay, I said I made 6 cards. I don't know what happened to the 6th card. It must have just been here because it had this actual gray background on it. So maybe we'll find it when we're recording. Okay, then I had tag treats. I'm going to show you the tag treats next, making space. I like to make all my projects different. I don't like to do anything the same. So when I swap with people, you just walk up with them and you swap with them. Then you just let them pick. They can pick out of my containers what kind of treats they want. Sometimes they have 2 things to swap, and I'll swap more than 1 treat. Okay, so these are little what I call tag treats, and what I do is I put Mentos inside. Sometimes I even color the Mentos with designer series paper, but I was running low on paper, so there's a mini Mentos inside. Okay, but it fits perfectly inside there. I have the dimensions on my blog. I'll put those in the description. Okay, you can put more than that in there. You could put nuggets and things in them. And to make those, I just use cardstock, the same colors we talked about, the soft seafoam, the petal pink, and the gray granite. And then I use this tag topper punch. And that's all. And I had some ribbon here, and it's just ribbon I got on clearance. That was Night of Navy, because Night of Navy is another coordinating color. Let me just lay these down so you can see my little tag treats and how they're each different. And again, I wobbled the piggies because when you're giving out a 3D project, I said, what's more 3D than just wobbling the little piggy? Okay, so that's what I did for those. Okay, next I'd like to show you my 16 nail file boxes. Oh, and there's the card. There's the card. That was number 6 card. I told you I buried it. So back to this card. This card has the ribbon on it, but ribbon is kind of hard to mail, because it's all bulky. So this is, better for just putting in a package. All right, so that was card 6. Anyway, go back. We're going to move the tag treats out and show you the 16 little nail file boxes. And I did a tutorial on YouTube on how to create these nail file boxes. Okay, so if you want to check that out, it'll be linked in the description. This video right now is not about how to make these. This is just showing you my projects I made for swapping at OnStage. Okay, where you trade with other demonstrators, different projects that you created, and that's what I'm showing you. Okay, so it's not about how to make them. If you want to see how to make them, you have to go to my other videos, which are all going to be linked in the description, all the related videos and blog posts. Because these are sort of my go-to crafts. I always have go-to crafts where I make tag treats, nail file boxes, Hershey Nugget treats. Those are the things I'm always making. And so that's why. And I just use I try to use like the taller, for these treats here, I said for the nail file boxes, I thought it'd be better to use, oops, some of them are stuck together, the piggy with the little flower, because it's vertical piggy, and same with this one. But I did use a couple flying piggies just because I had to use the ones I had, the piggies that I had already colored. And that's the thing, do these projects in stages. I'm going to be trying to make a couple 100 swaps before I leave next weekend. But you have to do your projects in stages where you do all the coloring, then you do all the cutting, and then you assemble the boxes, and you glue the bottoms of the boxes. I mean, you have to do it all in stages. You'd never get this massive project done unless you did it in stages. Okay, so here's some more. Now my goal would be to even find nail files that match, but I get my nail files from all different stores, which you'll see in my other video. And not all of them are going to match, but hey, the coordinating paper and the pigs match, so that's what's cool. All right, good. That was just my little note to say, twinkle, twinkle. All right, so they were the 16 nail file boxes, and now I'm going to show you these 16 matchbook treats, which I'm calling them, and these are each a little bit different as well. I guess I should have brought these things way closer before I started filming, because now I'm tethered to the microphone and I can't move around as much, but they might not all make it into the video, but if we can't reach them, you're not going to see them. All right, here we go. So, for the matchbooks, which I talk about also in another video when I showed how to make matchbook treats using Santa's Workshop designer series paper, what I talked about is that you can put inside the matchbooks, you could put the Ghirardelli chocolate treat, or you can put a tea bag. And it's also nice to put another sentiment inside as well. But I'm at crunch time now. I'm leaving next weekend. I'm leaving before next weekend to make it there in time. I'm meeting friends. My friends from Germany are meeting me there. So a couple of these are what's called pillow gifts, where you give extra ones to the friends you meet up with. It's like you put them on their pillow. That's where the idea comes from. When you get together with other stampers and give them special gifts, not just swaps, but you give them special gifts in the room. So that's what probably the pizza boxes will be for when I meet my team. Even the Ghirardellis, some of those are different. I have the raspberry ones, the caramel ones. Okay, so for some of them I added a little square of another piece of designer series paper to contrast more with the pig so he would stand out. Okay, and there's those raspberry ones. I don't have to keep opening them. I just like doing that. It's just something about 3D projects when people get them, and when I even play with them, like, people like to play with them. They like to mess around with them, open them. I said I wasn't going to keep opening them, but that's what you do. Of course, you want to immediately see what's inside, and then immediately you want to know the dimensions and how you can recreate it. And so that's why on the back of these or somewhere I'm going to be giving my business card with all the dimensions, maybe a QR code or some kind of contact information where people can find out all the dimensions for all the projects that I did. And it's a great way to make other contacts, because later people email you and say, oh, how'd you do that? And then I forever have them like on my list of somebody I actually met in person, which is nice. So I love how you can take paper that was made for babies and just make it like for other projects that are so cute and whimsical. And there's a few. I gotta throw these over there to get them out of the way, just to show you the last 4. And it's fun to make each one a little bit different, because I even get bored of making the same thing more than once. So it's nice to, when I'm mass producing these projects, to make them each a little bit different. All right, so I showed you the matchbooks. Now I said I was going to show you the nugget treats, Hershey Nugget treats. This is another one of my go-to crafts. I like to make Hershey Nugget treats whenever I get a new pack of designer series paper. The concept behind them is that you have, your tray of coordinating cardstock. You always use coordinating cardstock. So we have the gray granite, the petal pink, and the soft seafoam trays. The other concept is that I make a tag topper out of the designer series paper, and I use the 2-inch cellophane bags by Stampin Up. And on the back of my nuggets, very important, I always write down contains nuts and what's inside. And these are just a little piece of heaven. Milk chocolate with almonds. You can never go wrong when you give these to people. They look so cute packaged up. And so I just kind of alternate between the types of nuggets and the types of designer series paper that I'm using. And that's the concept there. Again, I wobbled all the pigs so people can play with all the treats they get. And I'm sure these are going to go first, which is great, because I can say, hey, first people I swap with, they get to pick. So they're going to be picking these, I'm sure. Or the mini pizza boxes, which are also cute. I've done them with 5, I've done them with 6, I've done them with 4. I mean, just different ways I do these nugget treats. But I do take care in like matching the papers and alternating the papers and making sure that I'm always using coordinating papers. And that's why it's great in Stampin' Up! That they give us the colors of the Designer Series paper pack on the back, and then it's so easy to coordinate later. Okay, last is just, I had a leftover piece of scrap paper, and I just made a bookmark. That's the last project. I would have made more of these, and I still can if I had any more pigs, but as I told you, I've already colored in 62 pigs. So this is the last project I ended up with. Okay, so lastly, because this is, my channel is made up of a lot of my crafty friends that watch for my brother's ScanNCut tutorials, and they follow that kind of aspect of my channel. So what I wanted to show you is, because you're wondering, like, how in the world did you make 54 projects with just one pack of paper? And I have leftover scraps galore of paper that I can do other things with, okay? Well, how I did that was just based on a template. I went into Brother ScanNCut Canvas, or it's called Brother Canvas Workspace, and I created a template. And this is one of my 2 templates that I used, okay? I'm gonna move this out of the way so you can see. And so, for example, this is nugget wrappers, this is a card base, this is a Matchbook Ghirardelli chocolate holder. This is a topper for the nugget treats. This is those extra squares in here that I was showing you. These extra little squares. I just had a space there, so I made some extra squares. These are the sides of the pizza boxes or nugget treats because they're 1 inch wide. And this one is my nail file box. And this one here is the top of a pizza box, meaning one of the squares, just one of the squares. Okay, and then I used a 3/4 inch circle punch for all of the 4U sentiments. But then I needed the 1 inch circles, and I just made some 1 inch circles in this Designer Series paper with any leftovers I had. So these are just templates, and you save those too. I mean, you save your templates because they perfectly line up. This is just one of them. I did 6 pages in this way, and then I did 6 pages of Designer Series paper another way. So I cut that all out, and that's one of the stages of my mass production. And then I have, I'm just going to show my crafty friends my leftovers. Okay, so I still have, after 1 pack of Designer Series paper, this is the topper for nuggets. These are a couple of the nugget trays. These are a couple of the wrappers for the tags, the tag treats. There's a bunch of little scraps. There's 4Us. And this is a nail file box, which I haven't cut yet, and a bunch of cardstock. So all I used, again, is I used 1 pack of Twinkle Twinkle Designer Series paper, and I forgot to mention 6 pieces of cardstock. And that was it for this entire project. 6 pieces of cardstock, plus, of course, the pigs, the Whisper White. I used Whisper White cardstock to create the pigs. Okay, well, I'd like to hear what you think about my little piggy swaps for OnStage. Please feel free to comment below. And I'm going to link in the bottom of the description swaps that I made for last year and the year before, in case you want to see what kind of things that not only I made to swap with at OnStage, but things that people gave me as swaps for OnStage. Because I made like 6 videos last year of just the things I brought back from Atlanta at the OnStage there. Thank you. See you next time.